Greetings, GameCola faithful, and welcome to the GameCola podcast. This is podcast number 155, and what a time to be alive. I am your host and podcast commander, Joseph Martin, joined by...
Hi, I'm Bryniarski, and I don't exist.
I'm Blue Ryder, and I wish I didn't exist.
Oh, no.
I'm Alex the Jedrasczcak, and there is proof on the internet, were you to search for it, that I do in fact exist.
I'm John Rizzi, and I'm not going along with this bit. Hi.
How dare you not yes and the intro bit, John?
Well, I guess the podcast is over.
Technically,
You're in California, the heart of improv, as everyone agrees on that piece of information. And you defy the rules of improv.
Technically, I did go along with it. I just said something completely different in response to
I was gonna chastise Blue for being a downer, but at least he yes-anded. You know?
Technically, I did too. Technically, I did.
I think you did the, very clear opposite of yes and by explicitly out loud saying, I'm not following the bit.
Yeah.
But I acknowledge that the bit existed.
Improv. Imagine
joke
in
came
improv. Like, oh yeah, we're doing, you gotta pretend who the person is when they walk into your house party, and you walk in it and you're just like, I'm not doing the bit where we're pretending to be someone in a house party. I brought chips.
Okay, I didn't mean to make Joe go all curb with your enthusiasm on my butt, but here we are.
I lied.
Video games
exist now.
They
something
do exist.
that John is legally obligated to yes and this topic. You can't say, I'm not going to talk about video games.
Yeah, if I have to.
That's not allowed. Their thing that happens in this year, 2022. There's a lot of twos in there. Can't wait for something to be released specifically on February 2nd, just because of all the twos. Ideally a sequel. That's the first question. What sequel is being surprise released on February 2nd, 2022, unless someone's already done it and I just don't know about it? Skyrim 2. Not, doesn't it already have a name? What's the next Elder Scrolls game?
Yeah.
I thought they had a name for it already.
It's just called Elder Scrolls 6 right now.
But secretly... Okay, so maybe it is going to be called... Maybe they're not going to release it in February, but it's going to come out, and it's going to be called Skyrim 2. The Elder Scrolls 6, Skyrim 2.
No, because they did, the 11-11-11. Might as well.
Right, that's what I was thinking. They did all
Keep
the
it up.
ones, so...
The only information we know about Elder Scrolls 6 right now is that it may take place in Tamriel. Again.
Cool. When did they announce it?
You can
It's been
tell
years.
how little I know about the world, because I was like, isn't that the planet?
No, the planet is
I'm guessing
Nern,
it's not the planet.
So hold on, I was trying to look up about the Elder Scrolls series, and I just like that it goes, okay, Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, the Elder Scrolls Online, Skyrim Pinball.
What?
Wait.
I never heard of that. Is that a mobile thing?
Hold on. In 2016, on the 5th anniversary of Skyrim's release, Zen Studios developed and released a virtual pinball adaptation of the game as part of the Bethesda Pinball Collection. Yeah, okay.
It's part of Pinball Fx3. Part of that little minigame thing.
I just like that it's included as if it was one of the, numbered games.
I see that a lot too. I see that
That's
on
actually Skyrim, too.
Oh, they did the same thing with Fallout and Doom also. Jesus. Okay.
Well, speaking of pinball...
I have pinball to talk about. So, it's been a while since I've been on the podcast, and I've actually done things. I went to an arcade in Pittsburgh with my boyfriend and some other friends for one of my friend's birthdays. And on the far sides of the arcade, there are pinball machines. So, like, there's on one side a bunch of licensed ones, and on the other side, a lot of just very generic pinball machines, and then down the middle are arcade games. I spent almost, I'm going to say 6 out of the 8 hours we were there.
I thought you were about to say $600.
Playing one pinball machine. It's called Medieval Madness. It is so fun. It has, like, the most basic quest line for a pinball game. It's so fun. It, like, you go to blow up a castle, you have to do that, like, a few times, and then the castle will actually start shaking, and it's so good.
You blow up the castle, and then you blow it up again and again?
Yes, so, like, the little castle mini in there resets, and so you just keep doing it. But it's so fun. I loved it. Definitely look up Medieval Madness. I have it on my Switch, and I also have it on my computer.
I'm just confused about what this castle is made of.
No, it's not. It's not a made of issue. It's wizards.
Oh, okay. Yes, that explains.
Yeah, sure.
It.
It's not supposed to be the same castle over and over again. It's supposed to be different castles.
Oh, okay.
Use your imagination, Blue.
I was not given enough information for my...
Suspend your disbelief.
For 2 seconds.
That is such a...
So wait, was this a physical pinball machine?
Yes, this was a physical pinball machine, but I was able to... I looked it up because I told Cam that I wanted it to be... I know people have, like... Some people will have, like, a pinball machine in their house, and I was like, I never really wanted that before, but...
Am I going to be one of those people
but
who has a pinball
if it
machine
came
in
to
their
that,
house?
if I ever had the money, I would love to have this game. I can't find it on my Steam. That's weird. It's just straight up not showing up. It's on my Switch, though. It's like it's a game... Oh, here it is. Pinball Fx3. Which is free to play, but then you buy packs. So I bought the pack that included...
That's the one that Skyrim 2 is on, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Okay. The one that we just talked about 2 seconds ago. But yeah, it was so much fun. And I try to think of how to say this. I don't hate pinball. I don't ever get the chance to play it. So I didn't think I would enjoy any of the pinball games as much as I ended up liking this one. And then... every once in a while, if someone came to find me, I was standing right there. It was not hard to find. Standing right at the same pinball machine. I also think I broke one of them, but someone came around and fixed it later because I was too afraid to go be like, hey, help.
You blew up the castle too many times in a row.
No, it was a Phantom of the Opera one, and one of the balls got, stuck or something. Also, if you have super bad sensory issues, like I do sometimes, maybe don't go to a dark room where there are a bunch of flashing lights and loud noises.
I did always wonder how people stood that in general, even if you don't have issues, it's such an annoying cacophony of sounds.
Some people
I had
being
earplugs.
in pain, I guess. I don't know.
I think some people, they need a cacophony to distract enough of their senses to get out of their brain.
Yeah, that's what I do, so I don't
there's-
exist anymore.
It becomes
if there's
white
so
noise at
much
some
going
point.
on, it helps them focus on one thing because all the little bits of their brain that would otherwise distract them just pay attention to the random noise that has no through line or something to follow.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not saying from experience because just recently I had to tell my friends to turn off a disco ball effect that they put in their apartment because it was giving me a migraine. And I was like, this has never happened before, but you can put these spinny color lights on and my brain is imploding. I don't know what's happening. But I can't see. There's little auras happening and I don't know if that's a migraine or if my brain's just exploding, but then they turned it off. And also I drank some water and I ended up being fine.
This is a bad time to
I-
say we had one of those lights in my dorm room that went on 24/7.
I used to.
I mean, if it works for you, it's fine. It's just like, I'm just clarifying that I'm not the kind of person, just because I came up with that description doesn't mean that I'm the kind of person that is true for, because I get very easily distracted by lots of random noises happening. I don't know if I used to be super into like 3D space pinball that came on Windows computers for a while. I also played a lot. I have the GBA Pokemon pinball, which I think is really fun. Like I like the, like, you know, like you said, like, you know, a pinball machine, like there's like the basic level of like the board, like how fun it is to like knock things around on the board. But then the other side of it is like the long, so that's like the short-term fun, and then you have the long-term like objective. And like with Pokemon pinball, it's like you're trying to, you know, you can hatch eggs, you can catch Pokemon, and you can evolve Pokemon. And you can sort of work toward all three of those goals simultaneously, so it doesn't get repetitive. And that you kind of have options of what you want to do. So if you do something by accident, sometimes it's usually helpful for something else. So that, I really like that, where it's like you don't have one goal that you're trying to complete. You have like 3 different goals that you can follow to make progress on the Pokedex. But that's sort of the extent of my pinball discussion.
I just remembered my first video game that I am sending. It's taking a very long time. In the chat.
You're sending a zip file of the
I'm
entire
sending the
video
entire
game?
zip file. No, but for the Game Boy Color, which I got in the year 2000 for Christmas. So, you know, 21 years ago. 5-year-old Anna got Little Mermaid 2 Pinball Frenzy, which was this huge cartridge that came with a slot.
Oh, right.
That is a chunky boy.
That
yeah,
came with
you've
a slot
talked about
for
that
a
before.
AA battery.
Yeah.
Which I didn't understand, and I thought all video games were like this, and then I got like another one, and I went, wait, this is smaller, I don't get it. But yeah, that was my first video game, actually, that I owned, was Little Mermaid Pinball.
Did it have vibration or something?
What did you...
Little Mermaid 2 Pinball, sorry.
Yeah, what is the... what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I thought it was for vibration.
If you don't put in the battery, you're not allowed to play?
I don't know. Let me,
I mean, like, I'm trying to think of things that, like, were in Game Boy cartridges. And, like, you know, there's, like... Because it's not like you need it to save your video game.
Yeah, well, you can see the other battery.
Come up with that technology by then.
You can see the other battery in the picture for that. Yeah. But, yeah, usually it was for
like a rumble.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The other thing would be like, you know, early motion, like maybe tilt.
I was thinking.
Yeah, reviewers negatively compared it to the 1999 game Pokemon Pinball.
Well, the original Pokemon Pinball, I don't know if it was very good. I played the Game Boy Advance sequel, which I enjoyed. About as much as I could enjoy a Pokemon pinball game, but I don't know how the first one holds up. So that may be fair to say, like, it's like the original Pokemon pinball, aka bad. Like, that could be a valid thing. Does it say anything about what the big old battery is for?
I'm not seeing anything.
It seems like a pretty crucial component of any review.
It has a rumble feature which vibrates the Game Boy Color when turned on with an extra battery.
Okay.
Just the one time.
Now, Anna, you seem to have come up with a major discovery.
Wait, what was it? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
You said, like, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah, sorry. There's an actual, website for it. Nintendo.co.uk/game/Game Boy Color/Disney's Little Mermaid 2 Pinball Frenzy.
It was actually published by Nintendo.
Good Lord. Sorry, I wasn't expecting this. It is too much for me. I don't remember any of this. Wow.
So it was Rumble.
Developed by Bowser himself.
I remember there was like a Yoshi game that like you could tilt, like it was built on like you tilt the control, you could tilt the whole Game Boy, like to one side and the other, and that was like part of the game.
Yeah, I know there was something like that. I just don't know.
What was it called? Yoshi. Was it Yoshi Tilton? Oh no, that's Kirby.
There may have been a Kirby one too.
I'm pretty sure there was a Kirby one because I don't know if there was a.
There was also Yoshi Touch and Go, which was like a completely. It was like an I think it ended up being like an auto runner Yoshi game where you just use touch controls or something. I remember like having a chance to play it and not really enjoying it that much. I'm trying to remember like other Game Boy like expansion pack.
Yoshi's Universal Gravitation.
That is, in a million years, I never would have guessed that was the name of the game.
Yoshi's Island.
Are you sure?
That is the name in the UK.
Okay.
It is in North America. It's called Yoshi's Topsy Turvy.
Oh,
that sounds more familiar. I know that like certain DS cartridges for Pokemon were, I know I promised before this podcast that we wouldn't talk about Pokemon because we're going to talk about Pokemon. Just a short thing that they added, like there was like an IR reader in the cartridge, I think, or something. I don't remember. Maybe that was just the DS. I feel like I remember that they had like some sort of special thing that like had infrared stuff in the actual cartridge. But maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe it was just through the DS's general wireless communication.
Yeah, that's my pinball
While
story.
possible, tilting the sensing device during gameplay on the Game Boy Player for the GameCube proved, quote-unquote, very difficult.
Oh my goodness.
Are there any other like Game Boy or handheld like little expansion, or even just like I guess if there were like cartridge stuff?
There's WarioWare Twisted.
And, like that was another one, kind of like Yoshi Topsy Turvy, right?
Mm-hmm. Kirby Tilton
probably
Tumble,
the same
thing.
Technology.
And then in Japan there was Korokoro Puzzy Happy Penichu. I don't know what puzzle game that is.
I'm trying to think. I mean,
I'm just on.
No, there were some cartridges that used add-ons for like the Nintendo 64. Like there was the fancy add-on for the Nintendo 64. But I'm trying to think of like stuff that like where the external like the extra hardware was like built into the actual cartridge from like NES, SNES, Sega, old Sega console cartridge days.
I don't like most of the stuff where you had that kind of thing. It was only really useful for the Game Boy. Like, you're not going to get a rumble out of a Super Nintendo cartridge. Your Super Nintendo is going to fall off the shelf. But I mean,
yeah, that's fair.
You could also say though that the Super FX chip and so on, in a way, was that kind of thing.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking like, a lot of it was probably like
you just don't see it. And it doesn't take a battery.
Unlike a Game Boy, yeah. I guess I was thinking of something that would be like visibly obvious, but I'm guessing a lot of the time those cartridges had enough physical space as like and technology improved.
They're powered like by the machine also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're powered by like an AC adapter rather than like an internal battery.
Yeah.
Must be a pain in the butt.
But I was gonna say I've been following a lot of homebrew developers, and I like seeing stuff like somebody was live streaming to their Game Boy over Wi-Fi, that they had like a Game Boy Wi-Fi adapter, and they had programmed it to accept and display live video.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, in 4 colors. And also, I don't know if you've heard about the Analog Pocket.
I think I've heard. There have been a couple things like that coming out recently, so I might be conflating it with other ones.
Yeah,
but I have definitely heard Analog Pocket.
Yeah, it's kind of like my my Retro Freak, where it can play a whole bunch of different types of games, but it is a physical handheld machine that can play Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Sega Game Gear, Atari Lynx, and it has all sorts of cool. The screen is so high resolution that it can pretend to be the original Game Boy screen. Like it can emulate how there's like a tiny fraction of space in between each Game Boy pixel, you know? So and how there's like a little bit of a shadow physically, like they can emulate that in their high def screen on their handheld. It's pretty neat. I've seen it. I don't have one, but you know. Oh, we were talking about whether any other systems had, because I was also going to say you can talk about like the Game Genie, right? Does that count as something?
Yeah, but that's like even more external. Like,
yeah, what was that big? What was that big thing that people put into DSs that I saw all the time?
There was like an action replay.
Oh.
That was like the Game Genie for a Nintendo DS. I did use that I had an action replay for a while.
Hey everyone, I'm cheating.
I used it to super level up in a game about catching monsters that won't be named, and
Digimon.
And I also used it to have fun hacks in the Nintendo DS Super Mario 64, but that's all I remember actually using it for. But yeah, Action Replay was basically Game Genie for the DS. I think there was also Game Shark. Yeah. That was like the other thing, but like
Pro Action
I remember
Replay.
Like for GameCube, I never used it, but like you had to like run it in your GameCube and then at a certain point like stop running it and then put in the disc for the game you wanted to use the cheats on. It was weird. We don't really have stuff like that. People, I think, just hack the video games directly these days.
Yeah, well, now that you can get like digital downloads and stuff on your system.
Yeah. But it seems like nowadays, most people who are interested in doing the kind of thing that you would do with something like Action Replay or Game Shark will just, like, you'll do it through emulation now, because emulation can get pretty close on a lot of stuff pretty quickly, too. It seems like these days. Like, there's a bunch of, like, even just now, there's, like, Super Mario Odyssey, like, hacks that exist.
So, I was gonna say, John mentioned Digimon.
Offhandedly, as a joke, but
as a joke.
I have my Tamagotchi here, actually, that I've been playing. I got Nightchi, and I'm gonna go play.
I heard it.
Yeah, I'm gonna play. Hold on, I went past it. I'm gonna play Find Ice Cream.
In
the middle of the podcast.
I don't know if I want. Right, I don't know if I want ice cream that has to be found.
Yeah, I'm concerned about this ice cream. Ice cream.
There's like 3 places that ice cream can be found and also still be worthwhile.
And if it's difficult, then it is not worth it.
Then it's not. Yeah, then it's probably not in one of those 3 places.
Well, it's in one of 4 places is the thing, and you have to. They shuffle them around, and you have to. Hold on, it's in the last one.
I never knew anybody who like had Tamagotchi. I do remember that for like a while in my childhood, like there always seemed to be an episode about one kid whose like entire life was their Tamagotchi, stand-in, right? Like it was a Gotcha Tommy or whatever you would call it to avoid copyright, but like that was like just a kind of kid that would sometimes show up in TV shows about like kids like at school or stuff. Was the one who just in one episode it was the kid who had a Tamagotchi.
I do like the episode of Digimon where they make fun of the nerd kid for being involved with his being super like intense on his digital Tamagotchi creature.
With like no sense of irony.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, this joke didn't go as well as I'd hoped.
It went better in my head.
I remember there was an episode of Fillmore where someone put a hit out on someone else's Tamagotchi.
There's a show I
haven't
thought about in a while.
Police had to like investigate the murder.
Murder? I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone
Murder.
Anna remembers
No, I don't,
that
but-
episode of Fillmore.
But that does
darn.
sound like Fillmore. It really does.
Oh my
Wait,
god.
how do you... Can you murder someone else's...
Basically, they stole it and then didn't feed it, I believe.
Okay, that
Or threw it in a pool. I don't remember which. Or maybe
Oh.
they didn't actually end up succeeding. Maybe they were holding it for ransom. I don't remember exactly. I remember that the fact that the kid was like, that was like his whole thing.
He was Tamagotchi
Was like
Kid.
part of the episode. Being the Tamagotchi Kid. That was the clear example that stuck out in my brain. But it was like one of those things where it's like, one of those things that like TV shows makes you think that you're going to have to like deal with.
Yeah.
Because it's used often for conflict and then
Like,
never shows up in real life.
Catching
like,
fire, quicksand...
For me, it was like the more realistic one, right? Because like I kind of knew that like you kind of know that like okay, I'm not going to end up in the Amazon jungle and have to deal with quicksand. But one thing that like TV shows made me think that was going to be really important was like the moral dilemma of choosing not to read someone else's diary. I've never had the opportunity to reject reading someone else's diary. Like that's never come up.
Right.
But like that happens a lot, and it's a lot more grounded than the other example.
So, I do also have to question, because I'm realizing now it's coming out on OBS, but I don't know if it actually came across on Discord that I was actually playing Find Ice Cream the entire time you guys were talking.
I couldn't hear it on Discord as much. I heard you like picking up the menu, but I don't know if... Did you find the ice cream?
Yeah, I found all the ice cream. I just don't know if you guys can hear, like, I guess while I'm talking, you can probably hear
Oh, I
that.
can. Yeah, I can hear
Yeah.
what you're talking.
Yeah, okay. No, well,
Yeah.
it'll come out on the podcast because I can definitely see it on my recording.
Yeah, I'll make a judgment call on how much of that to include.
Slightly in the background.
But where was the ice cream?
Well, it's like a cup shuffling game, right? And they
Oh.
have a complete ice cream cone, and they hide it under a thing, and then they shuffle them around, and then you have to figure out which one had the ice cream.
It'd
How
like
does it
wobble and get all sticky on the inside of the cup and not
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'd give
I do
it
not-
to you and it would be less ice cream than you paid for or whatever.
I do not understand why they decided to make it ice cream and not just like toys or something.
A bag of chips would be better, like pretty much anything other than ice cream.
I'm gonna assume that they had assets created for ice cream from a previous Tamagotchi game, and they were just like, okay, we're gonna find ice cream.
All right, kids.
Alright,
Just
Find
gather
the
around.
ice cream,
Find
I guess.
ice cream. Go, fetch.
Go get it.
Do
Okay.
not return until you have found it.
A new topic that I realized we have not talked about. Maybe because it's been since the last podcast. Maybe. Anyway,
Pokemon?
the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 trailer came out.
Oh yeah, and people remember that Knuckles is awesome, as I have always known in my heart.
I still haven't watched the trailer.
Because you don't want spoilers, or
I
because
keep
you're just
forgetting.
not that interested?
Yes, Sonic 2 spoilers.
Sonic.
I think Eggman's in it. Oh, sorry for spoiling that.
There is Sonic the Hedgehog, and there is Knuckles, and there is Tails, Miles per hour. I liked it. I thought it was, I didn't, as much of, there was the original, just the guy from the first movie who's just like a guy. And in the beginning, he's talking like he's Sonic's dad, and it's like, there's this, of all the things that Sonic does not need, dad is one of them.
Truly.
Like, that's just not a character dynamic that is fun. Like, someone telling Sonic, you gotta not be Sonic very much.
That's why they killed Sonic's dad with, like, toxic waste or whatever. He drowned in it, I think.
What about Old Man?
Whoa.
Old Man is okay. Because Sonic can be like, shows what you know, old man. But like, parental figure who tells Sonic to chill and he's right, not fun dynamic. Not a fan.
No.
I mean, I will take vindication in it because, yeah, sometimes Sonic does need to chill out.
Yes, but he needs to encounter that through the pure force of his own hubris, not because someone told him to.
But it is nice to just be like, Sonic, shut up. Once in a while.
It does depend on the Sonic, I would say, on that.
That's very true.
I did watch somebody stream the entirety of Sonic Adventure 2 last night.
How was it?
Last night.
Yeah, it was a video game.
I
Sonic
am currently
Adventure 2
watching the Sonic 2 trailer.
Okay. We'll get your thoughts in just a second, Anna. But for Sonic Adventure 2, I really like the first few levels of each of the 2 campaigns, like playing them. And then not as much the rest. Like a lot of 3D Sonic games, the first levels are fun because they're simple and straightforward and you just kind of get to run.
Yeah.
And then as each new mechanic is added, it gets more and more jank to the point where then all of a sudden it's just like, okay, there's so many things that just kind of don't work that we've put them all together and now like it just doesn't work.
That's why when you think of the first Sonic game, you think of Green Hill Zone and nothing else because the rest was not good.
But yeah, like there's mech fights and Tails is just going, okay, the entire time.
Okay.
Those games definitely fell into the trap a lot of like old school Disney games fell into, where like every character had like maybe 5 things to say during gameplay, and they kept saying the same things over and over again.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no! Ow! Ow!
Oh no!
Help! 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 I'm like, okay, Jesus.
And like, when you're playing a game and you know what's going on, the beeps just kind of fade into the background. But when you're watching somebody play and all it is you're watching them do this mech battle with Tails, and it's just like as it's like locking onto stuff. It's just a constant like it's like the arcades we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. It's just beep 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 beep. And you never get to just like fly around with Tails, which is like the coolest thing about him.
You're putting
Knuckles gets to fly. And he gets cool raps.
I still never understood how Knuckles can fly.
His tail.
Or glide. I'm sorry.
But
well, as you see, echidnas are well known for their ability to.
But yeah, the concept that they're actually having like rap songs over Knuckles levels, like they're just rapping,
and they're supposed to be like from his point of view too.
Yeah.
And like it goes from like slightly symbolic to I am literally climbing this wall to find emeralds, yo.
Yo. Those aren't the official lyrics.
Yo.
And also that.
Well, it's very important for us to know. This is Sonic Adventure 1, but still in the same vein. It's very important for us to know that Knuckles, unlike Sonic, does not chuckle. He would rather flex his muscles. And very important character trait.
Also, Joe Biden is in league with Dr. Eggman.
What?
What?
Wait, what?
The president. He's working with Dr.
Eggman. I'm aware who that is.
I thought the president was friends with Sonic the Hedgehog.
In Sonic Adventure and Shadow the Hedgehog, the president is like a character.
And he's friends with Sonic. Canonically. Yeah. So why is he working with Eggman? I don't get it.
You don't have to, it's okay.
So Anna, what did you think of the trailer?
Looks fine.
Yeah.
I'll watch it. It comes out near my birthday. Might as well just be like, hey, someone take me for my birthday to go see Sonic, I guess.
I guess.
I love Tails a lot. I think Tails is my favorite character because he's adorable. And also Jim Carrey. Love Jim Carrey. I thought he did a great job in the first one. I didn't particularly like the first Sonic. I didn't hate it, but didn't love it.
The first one's a fun movie. It's very basic, but it's very fun.
I don't know. People have told me that it's like exactly the kind of movie I think it is, and so I'm not very interested in seeing it. And
that's fair. We
But
kind of
like
just
the second one looks like it might be better if for no other reason than that it has Tails and Knuckles, who are great. So I might just skip the first one and watch the second one because I highly doubt the deep lore is gonna...
I do agree, though. Having a parental figure, just a weird dynamic for Sonic. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the entire point of Sonic, is that he's a kid who does whatever the heck he wants. Haha,
Which
caught
means
myself.
they should give him a kid friend. Right?
And they did.
That went
That's
well.
what they do.
I think that's what they're doing with Tails.
Well, no. I mean, that's what Tails is supposed to be.
I was
That's
referring
the
to
problem with
Sonic X.
There's Sonic's...
Yes, that's the problem with Sonic X, is that they just replaced some of Tails' best character traits with a child that's
Chris!
like...
That's
Feel
Chris.
bad for this
No, that's
millionaire child
Yeah.
who has who's rich, has several loving figures in his life.
Including his parents that he whines about not loving him, even though they very clearly do.
They're very busy, but they also, like, several times throughout the series, like, specifically come home to say, like, hey, we were very busy, but we also wanted to spend time with you, our son that we love.
Which is better than, like, literally any other anime character's relationship with their
Sonic
family.
the Hedgehog, and still complains all the time.
Doesn't he get better by, like, the end of the series, though? Like, at the very end, he sucks
the
a lot
end.
less?
You mean at the... No, at the very end of the, like, original story arc, he is willing to let the entire world die. The apocalypse happen because he wants to still be friends with Sonic the Hedgehog. Because if he's not friends with Sonic the Hedgehog, then nothing else matters in the entire universe, even everybody else. That's the end of season 2.
Oh.
Season 3 is when there's a weird time skip. He ages he ages normally. 7 years pass, but then he finds a way to travel to the Sonic world that they sent him back to after Sonic figured out that, like, he was like, actually, I've decided that after much deliberation and risking the entire world, 2 entire planets, I've decided to let Sonic go home. And Sonic's like, yeah, I mean, like, I already have all the Chaos Emeralds, and, like, even if you didn't come to this conclusion, I was just gonna bounce anyway. But I'm glad you figured it out. Bye.
Well, character growth.
He figures out how to get to Sonic. He figures out how to get to Sonic World. But when he goes to Sonic World, only 6 months have passed in Sonic World. So he's still a kid because of that. But he's also an adult who is in the kid body. So he's just kind of like a normal dude and doesn't really do anything while they go on space adventures.
That's definitely how time travel works.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, they go on. The season 3 is where they go on space adventures.
Yeah.
Tails falls in love with a plant alien.
Who turns out to
there's
be
a lot of
like,
robots everywhere.
What?
It's a lot.
I don't remember
a lot
of Sonic
happens.
X. I definitely don't remember that.
Every episode, there's danger and their ship's doing something, and then they're like, we're using the Master Emerald to power it, but we need more power. Knuckles is like, I'm on it, and then he like grunts, and then the Master Emerald glows, and then that like helps resolve the conflict.
And then it's over.
Season 3 was a lot, but it
season
was
3 was
better.
I didn't get through season 3, even as a child who like binged the first 2 seasons. I did not watch season 3 because I have no idea what was going on. And I also think the 4Kids dub especially like completely broke down.
Probably.
At that point.
I thought I don't remember, but I always heard that like the storytelling in season 3 was like better quality.
It was just, I mean, I think it was just darker, but like the same level of writing, but just like, oh, it's in space, and like they make it seem more like someone's gonna die, and they like take it more seriously, but also like it's Sonic the Hedgehog, so there's like a limit to how seriously we can take things when it's Blue Hedgehog that can go as fast as he wants in space.
Unless Sonic or unless Shadow's on screen, then he can just kill people.
Remember Dark Sonic?
No.
I think that was part of season 3, correct?
I don't know.
I think Sonic, like, gets really mad and he almost turns evil, and Eggman's like, you shouldn't do that.
You shouldn't.
And
then
he doesn't.
says, Hey, old man, go away.
Hey, old man.
Like, basically. That may have also been an issue. I feel like at that point, there was some issue with, like, how heavily 4Kids was, like, not just, like, changing words, but, like, literally editing, like, scenes.
Yeah. That sounds like
I
4Kids.
believe. Again, I did not finish through because at some point I lost interest. But yeah, that's Sonic and me. But like, that's going back to the movie. Like, I think it'll be better just because like the reason Sonic has endured as long as he has is because of the cast of characters
right.
that
The
he
world
has to
around
bounce
him.
off of.
The first movie really was just
and like
a movie that happened to have Sonic in it.
Yeah.
right. And I mean, they do their best, and like the acting in it is good, but like the characters themselves just aren't designed to like bounce off each other properly.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Sonic is the goofball, and they try to treat normal human man as the straight man, but like you need a very specific like kind of straight man to work with Sonic's like huge ego. Because like the whole thing with Sonic is that he has a huge ego, but like 95% of the time he has the skill to back it up. So like you're kind of like, well, I mean, whenever he has a huge ego, you're kind of like, well, I mean, I get this. It's hard to argue with that. So you need the kind of people who will argue with him on that, which is what Knuckles is. Knuckles will argue with Sonic.
Yes.
Even though Sonic is right 95% of the time. He can do whatever he needs to do to solve whatever problem he needs to. Knuckles will always focus in on that 5% of the time and never believe that Sonic can do anything. And, like, that's the kind of person you need on the other side of Sonic for it to be funny.
And Knuckles
not just
is
guy
great.
who's like, I don't really understand what's going on.
Not just, I am raising a child.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're really not. This is a super-powered hedgehog. I don't think you understand.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems fine. That's all I got. I'm more excited than I was for the first movie, because I wasn't really
I never
first
even watched the
movie.
first movie.
I
watched a few clips on YouTube, and that's it.
fine.
I've just always wanted to like Sonic because of the world around him, and like it seems so interesting and there are good characters, but they never do anything with them.
Yeah,
And
that's fair.
that's why I haven't really I've tried to play a few of the games and they don't go anywhere, or they do go somewhere, but it's the completely wrong way to do it.
They're all like one-off stories. Like nothing plays into another game.
And then Sonic Forces seemed like it was going to like do something in the world of Sonic that would be like something big, and then it was just like, no.
Remember when Sonic died? Spoilers, I guess.
Which time?
Sorry, Forces is the only time I remember.
Because he died and then a woman kissed him and he came back to life, I think. So,
yeah, that's Sonic 06.
I want to say that I don't really play Sonic games. I have a friend who very much likes Sonic, but I like Sonic culturally. Video games, though, I hate it.
Yeah.
I can conceptually.
I think that's where a lot of people are. Like, Sonic is, I mean, like, Sonic, it's like someone in the not someone, right? It was like a whole team of people in the 90s set out to design like the best character, not the best character ever, but like the epitome of some like character concept, right? They set out to design the best version of a certain character concept.
And they succeeded.
And like
for
they
90s
succeeded,
Americans.
But put him in the completely wrong genre of media.
They made a very good 13-year-old in the 90s.
Right. But, like, they did such a good job that it's, like, still appealing.
Yeah.
Like, with minor tweaks, the character is still very appealing. and that, like, that's why people are willing to give Sonic so many chances, because you can see, like, if you could get it to work, it'll be great.
I've heard, or I know that there are, like, several comics, and they sound like not quite what I want from Sonic, but also just stupid, convoluted comic book stuff, which is exactly my thing.
Yeah.
So I think I'll eventually end up just, like, reading all of them and being really into that, even though it's not exactly the kind of world building that I would want in a game. I would want to marry good gameplay with just, like, some good storytelling, not necessarily... I mean, I love convoluted nonsense, so...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would want to marry good gameplay. Yeah, I do think that the early 90s was the peak of cool but rude.
Yeah.
Right. And then in, like, the 2000s, he got, like, a little less rude.
Was he a party
partially... Well, like, there was cool
Does
but...
he do machines?
Cool but rude. Then he was... Then, like, you know, he was, like, Saturday morning, like, kids don't jump in washing machines. It was fun.
That's
no good.
And so, like...
That's no
And then he became, like... In the 2000s, he was, like, clean, very clean, like the most wholesome you can make someone who's like, I'm cool, but also a good person.
Yeah.
I mean, wholesome Sonic
Right?
isn't
That was
bad.
like...
He's a good boy.
No, it's not bad, but, like, that was, like, the flavor,
Yeah.
right? Like, and that was more, like, Sonic, like, as someone you should, like, actually, like not that I'm saying that this is true, but, like, someone that you would say, oh, Sonic's pitch is like, this is the kind of person that you should try to be like. You should try to be like Sonic. Because he's cool, but also a good person. And then current Sonic, is, like, more sarcastic.
Yeah.
He's exactly who I see my 13-year-old cousin as.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can kind of merge any sort of, like, rough teenager tropes onto this character, and it will always feel natural, even though he was designed decades ago for, like, that kind of teenager. But he needs his friends and rivals and enemies to, like, bounce off of.
Exactly.
For it to work.
And not just
Because...
Jim Carrey Batman. Batman. Eggman.
Wow.
Whoa.
Jim Carrey as Batman.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
Jim Carrey.
Sorry,
Jim
my
Carrey.
brain.
Jim Carrey. And Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
We're very concerned.
No, but more than just a cop and
Yeah.
Jim Carrey Eggman.
Hey, we play video games sometimes. We should talk about
Nah.
the ones that we've done recently.
Wow.
I'm John Rizzi, and I don't want to go along with the part where we talk about video games, actually.
Real quick, along with the games that I've just sort of always been playing, some of which I've been told I'm not allowed to talk about.
You can
well,
talk
wait.
about
Not
that.
that there's anything interesting.
Fine.
I did get to play a little bit of WarioWare Get It Together.
Oh my god, I did
over
too.
the holidays. And it's like, it is not like, if you come into it being like, I would like to play WarioWare games, like I've always done. It's not that.
Oh.
Like, there's, you know, elements of, like, the structure that are clearly reminiscent, but, like, the moment-to-moment gameplay feels very different. The key thing with the original WarioWare games is, like, you've got a D-pad and a button.
Yeah.
Maybe two in some situations. And I'm sure, like, motion controls and Wii ones and stuff. But, like, you've got these, like, you know, 10-second games where you have to, like, do a simple thing in a really short period of time. The idea is that you go on, it's faster and faster, slightly more complicated, and you try to see how long you can do it. And this, instead, you have these, like, little characters that you move around to complete the little games, and each one has, like, a different, like, way that they move. Some of them move automatically, some of them, like, are stationary, and you have to, like, solve the games with, like, different ways of with each character. And the idea is that you're never guaranteed to have one character. You can maybe select a set, but then you might not get a character that's well suited for it. And like that is interesting, but it's very different. And I also think it's kind of more fun if you can actually play it with another person, because like the pacing of it, of like, oh, well, sometimes, you know, I might get a good character for this and you might get a good character for this. Because a lot of the time it's like you don't really need two people, but one person may end up being completely useless. And I played some of the extra modes too, and there was some fun in there too. So like, that would be my short pitch, is like, if you're just into it because you're like, I'm ready for the next WarioWare, I love all the WarioWares and I'm ready for the next one, you will probably be disappointed. But if you are not really into WarioWare, like you've never played WarioWare, but like you are interested in it, then I think you will have a lot of fun if you end up getting this game.
I second that.
John, what other games aside from WarioWare Get It Together have you been playing in recent times?
Actually, I installed at my dad's house. He had my old laptop, and so I took it back from him, from his greasy hands, and I installed Windows on it. It was an old MacBook, and
that's a good game.
To install Windows.
I love that game.
It was Windows 10, not 95, Jetty. But yeah, so I could play all my old Steam games on it. And I haven't had the ability to play my entire Steam library in like 8 years.
Oh, jeez.
So I have like maybe 200 games in here that I haven't played. And I recently just went on a big Steam buying spiel because of the big winter sale had so many good deals on old games. So I recently played 6 hours of The Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. And I loved it. It was so much fun. The combat felt like, if the whole gameplay felt like it was like a mix of Spider-Man without webs, and then the combat of like a very primitive version of the combat from the Batman Arkham series. And it has this really cool mechanic of the dagger that can turn back time. So like anytime you mess up, you can just hit that button and watch everything you've played go in reverse. It's like a rewind feature on an emulator, basically. And you can only do it so many times because it basically constitutes as your lives for the game. So like maybe for this section you can only go back in time like maybe 3 times. After that you're screwed. If you haven't figured out how to get across this pit in 3 tries, then yeah, you're done. I don't know. It's very fun, and the story's pretty good too. The voice acting is incredible. But yeah, I really like that one. And then I also end up playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 for another 20 hours because I love that. The original from 2005, not the new one. Yeah, that was fun to go back online and see people still playing it in spite of the new one. It was people got very good. People got very good on that, and I was kind of bummed I wasn't good at the game anymore.
Anna, I'm calling you out. Play a video game. I've played a video game.
Play a video game right now.
I was, and then Audacity closed, so I can't do that.
Oh no!
It was before recording, so we're good.
Okay.
So
I thought it happened again.
So in addition to Animal Crossing, which I don't play too often, just every once in a while, especially when I have friends online and I want to hang out with them. I've been playing a lot of Power Wash Simulator. It's very satisfying. It's on Steam, but yeah, you just power wash things. It's just satisfying, and it's a thing to do. I've been playing Sims. In Sims news, by the way, there have been a few like small packs that have come out, like some fashion stuff that I don't really want to get into because it's fine. I liked what came out, but I don't really have a lot to say about it. But I guess everyone is saying that the next pack is going to be wedding involved, and okay, that's fine. But I don't know what that entails, and everyone's just like, it's going to be weddings. And I'm like, I'm not even going to look into this until Sims comes out with a actual trailer. But I also bought some games on the sale. One of them is called Growing Up, which when I saw it, I looked at it, and if anyone remembers Dream Life from the days of having that TV game that you plug in to your TV.
Oh.
And you play and try to be person, I guess. I thought that's what this was going to be. It's a much better...
Isn't that the one where you, like, climb a plant thingy and get a bunch of upgrades?
What?
No, that's Growing Home. Sorry.
Wait a minute.
I didn't know Growing Home was a plug-and-play game.
Dream Life is not very good, but that's also because it came out in, like, I don't know, 2005. It's not...
Everybody knows that video games just weren't good in 2005.
No, it was also just dumb, and I didn't like it. It's very weird. And there's also Designer's World, which was fine. No remote included, says this eBay ad, which is unfortunate considering you kind of need the remote to play.
Oh my god, my cousin had this.
Yeah, my sister had this one. I had Designer's World, which was a fashion design one. But no, Growing Up is actually just a better a much better version of this. It's different, and it's very good.
So, like, what do you actually do?
You start off as a baby, and you raise your skills to see what kind of person you become, and you meet different people throughout your life, and then after high school, they finish the rest of the story for you, which is fine, I guess. I've also been playing Unpacking. I haven't played it in a while, but Unpacking, still a solid game. It came out beginning of November.
Played it last night in real life.
Yeah, good job. Well done. Unpacking, great game, cute story. There is no... It's pretty short, so you could probably finish it within a day. And they don't have plans to make any new stories at all. It's just the story starting from when you're like young, you're unpacking your new bedroom all the way up until you are unpacking your new house with your partner and you're expecting a child. It's a cute game, cute story, and it's another one of those things where it's very satisfying to play. Just putting things away in a spot that it's nice to organize, especially when I am very bad at organizing myself. Escape Simulator is one that I've been playing with Cam, or I played a little while ago with Cam. It's pretty fun. I've never done an escape room in real life, but I guess this is what it's like, is you just break stuff constantly. That feels correct.
I mean, like, even before like the escape room, like, physical real world thing was a thing, like, I feel like Escape the Room was, like, the premier genre Flash game for a while. Like, on Addicting Games or whatever you would play, it would just be, like, click on things to figure out what you can do to, like, get out of this car or get out of this storeroom. And a lot of the stuff that's used in, like, escape rooms, like, finding, numbers hidden around to unlock safes, like, I feel like started in those weird little Flash games. And now we've sort of come full circle.
Well, I mean...
I've also been playing Mini Motorways, which is a puzzle game where you just build roads to places. It's like Mini Metro, if you've ever heard of that. It's basically the same thing. Pinball Fx3, Medieval Madness.
Ayo.
And then, those are the games that I've been playing. I played a little bit of the game Omori, which I don't know very much about yet. My friend got it for me for Christmas. It looks very Earthbound-esque, which I do like a lot. And
I hear it gets heavy.
I'm sure it is.
Just be ready for that.
Oh no, I'm already ready. And also, yes, Your Grace,
okay.
Which is you just make decisions for Kingdom. It reminds me a lot of Reigns, except a lot more, and not just cards. It's just pixel people, and also you have to marry your daughter off right away, which is pretty bad. Considering you try to talk to her and you're like, we're gonna try to make sure it's like everything turns out okay, and then immediately you have to marry her off, and it makes me sad. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of video games over the last few months, but mostly since buying it for the winter sale, the Power Wash game that I can't play right now, otherwise it'll close Audacity.
What were you bringing up just a second ago, Jetty?
Oh, no, I was going to say about escape room games that, like, on the NES you had Uninvited or Shadowgate and that sort of thing, which was like, oh yeah, look in the briefcase, pick out the ticket stub, look at the ticket stub, read the number, go to the lockbox, you know.
So what you're saying is that, like, adventure games are really just one big giant escape room.
Yeah. It's a
that
connected universe
right.
that all adventure games from the 80s were in one world, and they all loop together. That's what you're saying, I believe.
Yep.
Well, no, not really, but that's cool too. Jetty, what games have you been playing in recent times?
I haven't really. I've been doing a lot of book reading, catching up on my collection of
Wait
books.
a minute.
Actually reading.
That's not what we do here.
Yeah, but
That's illegal.
before there were
visual
How dare you.
novels.
Before there were video games, there were these things that had words in them.
Was it a game
I
book?
hate
Was it the Pringles, Mario,
Sad-
and Luigi?
Sadly, no. But I did go back and play Phasmophobia. Got an update.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they have reasonably improved the game. So I'll probably be playing some more of that. And I have my Tamagotchi.
Woo.
I'm about to go to the date place.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Yeah, and at that point, you pick which Tamagotchi you want to date, and then you get an egg immediately. And then
That's how it
You
works.
don't have to find them under a
That's
cup
not a good date.
first?
like, I just like that you go to, like, I wasn't expecting it to be that immediate. I thought, like, oh, they're going to be on screen together for a little bit, and then an egg is going to pop out. It's like, no, you go to the date place, you pick one, and immediately you come home with an egg. But
They just give you an egg. I don't understand what's so weird about this. It was just that good of a date that they decided to give you an egg.
imagine, oh man.
That's how all my dates have gone.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you just go on a date, like, who's obligated to bring the egg? What if you both bring eggs?
Then you exchange eggs. That's the
Oh.
thing.
The exchanging of eggs, okay.
If they're really nice, they might, like, give
Hey,
you
you wanna
an
trade
ostrich
sons?
egg or something.
Oh. So yes, that my video games I've been playing are books and Tamagotchi.
Very good.
All right, Blue, what video games have you been playing?
Okay, I have been playing, I played Multiversus, and
Oh,
that's
it's out?
all I can
didn't
say
know.
legally.
Oh, right, that's right. I
It's a
forgot.
video game that exists, and I played it.
Okay, well,
Very
let's
good.
move on before we get in trouble.
I'm playing Mario and Rabbids, the weird,
Oh, Mario
it's
vs.
weird.
Rabbids Kingdom Battle?
yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I still don't understand. Like, why? And why
Yeah.
do
Why
they
the
hate,
crossover or why the gameplay?
why the crossover, and why do they hate Rayman? Like, what, your mascot that got you to the...
I think these are just two different things.
Yeah, I
now.
think it was.
Well,
think it
yeah,
was
but
like a-
they started as, like, the same thing, and then, like, for the 20th anniversary or whatever of Rayman, they just did nothing, and then they were like, hey, how about more Rabbids? We hate Rayman, we'll never talk about him again. That's over. Stop thinking
Well,
about
they
it.
made some Rayman games.
Not,
some ramen games.
they, like, 10 years ago was the last one came out.
But they put it on new consoles still.
Okay. But
Look,
I'm...
man.
trying to remember, was Rayman cool but rude?
Maybe he was. I don't remember. Because they killed him.
Oh no. They murdered
I'm
Rayman.
partway through that, and that's really good. I only failed, like, one mission so far. I was getting all perfects, and then this one time, I just couldn't stop one of my characters from getting murdered because he got ganged up on, and I was very sad because I only got, like, 50% of the completion stuff.
Yeah, there are definitely times where, like, you're just cruising through the game, absolutely destroying everything, and then you hit this one level where, like, you can't get past the first, 6 steps
also
or whatever.
the, like, side levels, there's a place you can go that's like, do these too, and the rating on it was very easy, and I was like, okay, I'll do this for some extra, like, currency and stuff. And then it immediately murdered me. And I was like, I've been playing for a few hours, and this is very easy. Why?
Yeah.
I started Mega Man X, and my time with the other Mega Man games has made me improve in that I do not immediately die like the first time I booted up Mega Man. But also, I have not beaten any of the bosses yet, but I am trying.
Do you want a hint?
Sure.
Okay, because I think this is pretty fundamental to Mega Man X, the first one specifically. You should beat Chill Penguin first.
Because I was doing the water
or at least
level,
and... Have you at least gotten halfway through Chill Penguin stage?
And gotten the, like, jumpy legs? Or...
The dash boots?
Yeah. Okay,
that's one of the key things, but then also Chill Penguin is probably one of the easier ones.
Yeah, that's...
The Launch Octopus, the water one, I would not recommend as a first.
Yeah.
But one of the cool things about Mega Man X is that, like, a lot of the time you can, like, play through the stages and, like, get power-ups in the stages without beating them that help you complete other stages.
Yeah, I was surprised when I first ran into that, and I was like, wow, this is a neat idea, and I love him. And I did play DC Universe Online for a day. I got to the maximum, like, solo level you can get to, and then it was like, great, team up with 7 people you know, and I went, oh, okay.
And I thoroughly went to shut the game off.
I don't know how to do MMOs, and I don't have friends, so...
Well, I mean, I think they didn't put the necessary asterisks there, which is like 7 people, 7 of your friends who own this video game, this one specific video game. We all have friends, but
no,
I don't know if I know 7 people who own the same video game that I do.
And you have to do like
Mario Kart would probably be like the closest.
And then you have to do like the 30 level grind.
Yeah.
And there we go. I have a voice again.
Just in time for the podcast to end.
Way to go!
I did it.
Great work. Thank you. This is all the time we have for, I think, this week. So thank you for listening to this episode of the GameCola podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to check us out on our actual internet website, GameCola.net, where we've got game reviews, other podcasts. You can also find other video content and video podcasts, if that's your video versions of the podcast that are still just audio, but you can look at the thumbnail the whole time and leave YouTube comments and like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. But that is GC.net, the letter G, the letter C, the word dot, the word net. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter to get updates on GameCola-esque stuff that is going on. Just search GameCola. You'll find us there. And in our Twitter description and at the top of the website and in the article description, you should be able to find a link to our Discord where we talk about video games with you, the GameCola faithful. One of the things that's going on there is talking about moving the date where this podcast release. You'll notice that this podcast is coming out a little later than usual because the general workflow, having moved out here to London, United Kingdom, planet Earth, is the workflow originally made Mondays the best day is no longer really the case. So probably going to try to move it to a new weekday, but I wanted to get a sample of what other people thought. So you can talk about that on the Discord if you have any opinions about when you would like the GameCola podcast to release in your general week. Anything else that I should mention? You can email us at podcast@GameCola.net if you want to submit questions, or you can just put them on the Discord.
Or YouTube comments, those are good too.
Your YouTube comments, you can leave topic suggestions there.
We
refrained from talking about Pokemon this episode because there's a new one coming out, and by the time the next episode is going to be recorded, so like, we'll probably talk about it. I'm sorry. That and then we'll take a break for Pokemon for a while. But they released 2 games right next to each other, so like, what am I supposed to do? You know,
game outside the mainstream,
you know. And that illegal. I'll never
No,
catch me alive.
sorry.
We
anything
do
else?
family
Stay safe.
game morning and night streams sometimes. I don't know what's going on with those right now.
Well, we took a break because we were doing holiday stuff, I think. At least that's why I couldn't really do it.
Yeah,
but,
that's what I assumed.
Yeah, maybe.
But
I might.
I didn't want to.
Maybe we'll
I might stream my Tamagotchi.
throw some of those up on the YouTube channel. Maybe. We'll see. But if you follow us on Facebook and Twitter or in our Discord, you'll be the first to know about it. Or subscribe on YouTube.
Don't follow us on Facebook.
Oh.
Don't use Facebook in general.
Yeah.
Facebook
fair.
Follow
isn't
us on
really where you want to
Metaverse.
find us anymore.
Yeah. If you are stuck on Facebook for some reason, you might as well follow us on Facebook, but
if
do
you
not
like me
join
are sitting
Facebook.
and watching 5-minute craft videos for 8 years.
I just needed to like talk to some people who are like, that's the only way I could find them if I needed to contact them. But like that number is slowly decreasing, and I'm sure eventually I will be able to just get rid of Facebook. I'm very close. I basically don't interact with it at all. But yeah, don't get a Facebook just to follow us on Facebook.
I live on a mountain, and my only source of communication is my 2009 Samsung phone with Facebook installed, and I can't update it.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the GameCola podcast out in the mountains on your Samsung phone through
Thank you.
Facebook somehow.
Thank you for listening
time
on
of day,
Facebook.
Yeah, somehow.
wherever it is, whenever it is you're listening to this podcast, and we will see you next month. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Try not to die.